Yeah, this is Jupiter at Night, and we are filmed in front of the live studio audience. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
I'm Alan.
Now, tonight we're going to take a very somber, reflective look at the movie theater industry. It's been, the movies make a big budget. You know, we just went and saw the Expendables, and even despite all of that, the movie theaters still say they're barely able to keep their doors open.
Well, it was opening weekend, and still the theater we were at was pretty empty.
That's true, although we were kind of in a backwards little town.
Well, yeah, but, you know, you figure it was a hot day, air conditioning in there and everything, and Saturday.
Now, you've worked at the movie theater before, and you told me, you said, it is fact that they really almost make hardly anything off the tickets themselves.
As far as what I was told, all the money gets made off of concessions, so,
Okay.
you know, people like me that bring in my own soda, I buy their popcorn. Why not? It's a treat.
Yeah.
But
you're saving the money with the soda and stuff like that. And so that would theoretically be cutting into their profits despite what the movie ticket sales might be. So movie ticket sales of a massive box office, like, you know, Toy Story 3 now, since it's been out, has made $400 million. That's crazy, right?
It almost seems low for Toy Story. For some odd reason, I expected more. I mean, not saying that that's not a lot.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's only been a few weeks, though.
Oh, yeah, I guess
you're not even talking DVD sales, any of that kind of stuff.
Or toys.
Yeah, it just seems like, okay, so we hear those numbers, we think, man, they're making so much money, but that's going to the studios. That's not going to the theaters.
Right.
Okay.
That's just all numbers and, yeah, for them, for the studios.
Now, I got a couple ideas on what I think would be really cool for movie theaters to do to kind of get my interest and turn me around. You and I, we like we mentioned, we went and saw Expendables.
Yeah.
Not a normal thing for us to do, that both of us don't often find ourselves in the movie theater anymore. What'd you think of Expendables?
I kind of expected more.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it was
from
lame.
that movie?
Yeah, well, it sucked.
Yeah, well, it didn't suck. It was just dumb.
Okay, well,
it's just a dumb
the plot
shoot.
was horrible. No chemistry. The Jet Li fight didn't focus on actually letting you see Jet Li fight.
It's true.
And really, none of the cast was involved except for the very beginning and end. I
got to turn around for you though. Some creative ways to see people die. Some cool ways to see the human body get mutilated.
I was actually disappointed with their effects.
What about the night vision killing?
Okay, that one was cool.
Yeah.
I did like that. That was
cool.
That was badass.
What about the 5 minutes of planting bombs? Remember that? There's like a 5-minute montage. That was
again. The payoff wasn't worth it.
I know.
Their bombs must have been tiny.
I know. So all right. Now that kind of stuff, that's just kind of a fun casual thing. That's not always going to drive us to get in the theater, but it seems like I find myself less and less these days actually showing up. You know, the grand total was Expendables made $32.5 million. That's a ton of money.
Hey, we went and saw it.
But again, that doesn't all go to the theater, and there are less and less people in the theater. Movie ticket prices go up and up. Studios take that. So why aren't you going to theaters anymore?
I hate them. It has nothing to do with working in one. As a high schooler, it was top notch.
Okay.
Great date job movie place.
That's
working.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great place to take when you're in high school to take a date to begin with.
But there's so many things about the theater I hate. But mainly it has to revolve around the other people being there.
Yeah.
I hate it when people bring in their kids, even in the small, like mostly empty theater. We thought we were doing really good, and then right when the movie
starts, yeah,
there's some young little kids like squeaking and squabbling.
A guy brought his young child, or some gal brought her young child to the Expendables.
And like you were saying, Toy Story's open. If you're gonna take your kids to the movie, take them to the movie.
Yeah.
Like.
Now, see, for me, I'm a little more tolerant, but it can bother me if they're really loud. Like my wife Angela. She hates the sound of like all the popcorn chewing and kids with wrappers and that kind of stuff. It makes her lose focus on the movie.
No, see, unless it's like a really dramatic, quiet, like where you have to really like lean in and listen.
Yeah.
Then save the popcorn just for a second. But otherwise, whatever. That's part of it.
Now the laughing and the clapping and the really loud stuff. You know, like laughing or like there were spots in the Expendables where you and I were both laughing out loud. That's fine.
But I almost felt out of place with our laughing because I didn't feel other people found those spots funny.
Oh, well, it's because we were laughing at the brutality of the scene.
It was funny.
It was really great. I mean, I thought
if you're going to see that movie, you should be able to laugh about that stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, and But there are moments like, what did I just see before the Expendables? Whichever movie I saw, and I remember the Sherlock Holmes movie specifically. When I saw the new Sherlock Holmes movie, there was a gal sitting behind me who was trying to work out the plot line with the person sitting next to her.
That's the worst.
I know, dude.
That's why I bought a big screen TV and nice surround sound, and I just plug my ears until the movies come out on DVD.
Now, before we jump into all the 3D stuff, well, why don't we talk about this?
That is one thing that pulls me into the theaters. Like
the 3D?
I wouldn't have seen Avatar at all, but it's like I hear it's the most awesome 3D adventure of all time.
You know, it's interesting you say that. 80% of Avatar's $749 million it made in the box office, 80% of those sales came to the 3D viewing.
Nice.
So they made a big chunk of change from that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if some people in the chat room are saying that 3D is a gimmick, and even if it is a gimmick, it's still got. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, I think the public's starting to catch on. So check this out.
There's certain movies though that shouldn't be made into 3D. It doesn't matter.
That's for sure. And it's been declining almost every big box office release. The percentage of people that are buying. So I mentioned that Avatar, 80% of people watched the 3D version. Alice in Wonderland was down to 70%. Toy Story 3 has been down to 60%. And Clash of the Titans, only 55% of the ticket sales went to 3D. So you can see it's starting to kind of lose its appeal to people.
Well, it makes sense because especially after Avatar, maybe the next one sucked, and so they're like, "Well, I don't need to see this one in 3D. I don't care. It's not worth the extra money."
And it feels like a money grab.
Well,
honestly, if I'm going to see a movie at the theater, I want that 3D screen on this big screen. And what I've heard is like the math when you make it big like that and multiple people is super crazy complex. And then also getting the resolution high enough and all that stuff. It's like it's not happening anytime soon. But I want glasses free 3D.
Especially as a glasses wearer, it's really annoying. Like, I have contacts, so I can do that, but that's not as comfortable as wearing my glasses. That's why I wear my glasses.
Now, I think you and I might be going down the path of, we've made investments in our home theater system, and we want to watch it at home. But before we go to that, I had one idea that I thought might sell more movie theater tickets. I was going to float it past you and see what you thought.
Let's see. Let's go for it.
So I'm going to take an inspiration from how they do it in Korea. Go on to YouTube and search for Korean theaters, and when you get there, you buy your movie, you get a ticket with a number, and then they have now serving like they do at the DMV. Okay, now I'm taking that inspiration and I'm running with it. Also in Korea, they allow you to choose your seating right then and there. Nice. At the purchase. So you already have a seat reserved.
Like a concert.
Okay, so that's how they do it in Korea. Now I'm taking a step from there. Let's adopt that system in the US. But when you go buy your ticket, imagine like where all the concession stands are now. What if some places could like renovate that into a restaurant? And so you go get your ticket and it'd be like a decent restaurant and you could sit down.
They have that.
And
They have that here. It's called the Cinebar.
They have it here in Washington?
Yeah, no kidding. It's called the Cinebar. Okay, that's a plug right there.
So then say like because they know when your movie is, they'd say about 15 minutes before your movie. They'd be like, okay, your movie's going to be in about 15 minutes. Would you like to order some of our fresh popcorn from the kitchen? And then you take your beer and your popcorn and you go out and watch the movie.
Yeah. Now see, it's like this one is an actual like restaurant where you actually get a meal.
Okay.
And then you watch the movie.
That's more
I
of an
haven't
experience.
actually been, so maybe next time we should go.
And then as the final exclamation point on how I would change movie theaters, as I'm walking out, let me buy the Blu-ray right then and there. Let me buy for the same price I could buy it otherwise.
Now,
let me just get it then because otherwise, I'll just buy the Blu-ray and watch it at home.
Yeah, but then all your friends that didn't see it, you buy one ticket for the movie. I say what you do is kind of your idea, but have that DVD or, have it pay-per-view or something on the release that it comes out in the movie theaters. Yeah, the movie theaters are going to lose money.
Like pay-per-view on cable or something?
Yeah. And on cable, Netflix, through Comcast,
and
whatever.
To that end, really, we've heard reports that Google wants to trial a 1 gigabit service. In today's news, it came out that Verizon is field testing a 1 gigabit Fios connection. And they believe the equipment in their existing equipment should be able to sustain over a 2 gigabit connection. Now, of course, everybody's computers at home now immediately become the bottleneck for that much bandwidth. But
that's crazy.
There's no reason you couldn't do a Blu-ray movie on demand over a gigabit network. I do it every single weekend here at my house. I do a Blu-ray movie over my 1 gigabit LAN.
Why
and if
not?
you have a 1 gigabit connection to your ISP Why wouldn't they just send it to you right then and there? Watch it at home.
Yeah. I mean, I even get like, hey, you know, it's going to cost $10 to see it in the theater. It's going to cost $15 to see it at home. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I would
there
much
you go.
rather have my own popcorn, so my own ambiance. Yeah. I think the future of
be
the
able
movie
to
theater
pause
should be
it
at
if
home.
you have to go to the bathroom.
Either make it a fantastic experience. Maybe just make it an experience for adults and people that don't want to be like at a party. You know?
Yeah. I mean, as a kid growing up, I love going
That's
to the
why
theater.
I'm saying
but
I could see a market for both. Maybe we'll see more adult oriented, like with a bar maybe and a restaurant. Maybe more
Yeah.
of those will spring up just as a way to differentiate.
Probably.
That would be cool, but I really think the future is probably just watching it at home.
Yeah.
Which is sad because the theaters are a cool date night. Now is date night, come on over and watch a movie in my living room?
Hey, that's where you want to end up anyways. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
less beating around the bush there.
And then you'll have time to watch Jupiter at Night because Jupiter at Night is live every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. over at jupiterbroadcasting.com/live. And then we release the show in just about every format you could ever want. So you can always find each individual episode over on that site and subscribe to the feeds, all that kind of stuff. And one last thing before we sign off, we did want to ask you guys a favor. If you're enjoying Jupiter at Night, share it with some people. Send out a link, tweet it, Facebook it, whatever, however you do, email, pigeon, messenger pigeon, whatever it is. Help us spread the word about Jupiter at Night because that's the next big phase for us is to grow the audience, and we really need your help to do that. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching tonight's episode of Jupiter at Night, and we'll see you tomorrow night.